European Parliament in 2014, and I said, and I quote, there will be a war in Ukraine. Have we taken leave of our senses? Do we actually want to have a war with Putin? Because if we do, we're certainly going about it the right way. We directly encouraged the uprising in the Ukraine that led to the toppling of the president, Yanukovych, and that led, of course, in turn to Vladimir Putin reacting. And the moral of the story is if you poke the Russian bear with a stick, don't be surprised when he reacts. Why did I say that? It was obvious to me that the ever eastward expansion of NATO and the European Union was giving this man a reason to his Russian people to say they're coming for us again and to go to war. We've provoked this war. It's, of course it's his fault. He's used what... But we provoked the invasion of Ukraine. And very interestingly, once again, 10 years ago when I predicted this, by the way, I'm the only person in British politics that predicted what would happen.
What did Trump do to get the weapons flowing? He created a loan system. They're sitting on $10 to $12 trillion of critical minerals in Ukraine. They could be the richest country in all of Europe. I don't want to give that money and those assets to Putin to share with China. If we help Ukraine now, they can become the best business partner we ever dreamed of. That $10 to $12 trillion of critical mineral assets could be used by Ukraine and the West, not given to Putin and China. This is a very big deal how Ukraine ends. Let's help them win a war we can't afford to lose. Let's find a solution to this war. But they're sitting on a gold mine to give Putin $10 or $12 trillion of critical minerals that he will share with
For the sake of containing Russia, China, and other countries whose independent policies are perceived as a challenge to hegemony, the West, by its aggressive actions, breaks the system of globalization that originally developed according to its patterns. The North Atlantic Alliance is no longer satisfied with the war that it unleashed against Russia at the hands of the illegal authorities in Kiev, and the entire OSCE space is not enough for it. Having almost completely destroyed the fundamental agreements in the field of arms control, the United States continues to escalate confrontation.
Diplomacy is about talking to everyone, even to those with whom you do not agree on major issues. That's an achievement. And I have to tell you, colleagues, this is not only unacceptable, but scandalous, really scandalous, that a country is being stigmatized in the 21st century just because arguing in favor of a diplomatic solution. We are now being under very heavy attacks, political attacks, of those European politicians who are representing a pro-war position. But I have to tell you that such kind of attacks will give us further encouragement to continue our peace mission.
I think that it is absurd for us to devote so many resources, so much attention, and so much time to a border conflict 6,000 miles away. There was, in fact, a peace deal on the table approximately 18 months ago, and what happened to it? The Biden administration pushed Zelensky to set aside the peace agreement and to engage in a disastrous counteroffensive. Every single objective observer of the Ukraine war acknowledges today that the war is going worse for Ukraine than it was 18 months ago. Could we have avoided it? Yes, we could, Mr. President, and we should have avoided it. We would have saved a lot of lives, we would have saved a lot of American weapons, and we would have had this country in a much, much more stable and much better place if we had.
Right now, in our current fiscal year, by our, I mean the federal government, we're running looks like about a $1.1 trillion deficit. Is that correct?
About 1.6, I believe.
1.6 trillion. I'm sorry. It's even worse than I thought. And that, of course, means that we're spending $1.6 trillion more than we're taking in revenues. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. And we're filling the hole by borrowing money. Is that correct?
That's correct.